Since the dawn of man, there has only ever been one thing to catch people's attention. That's right, it's moving text on your screen. An easy way to distract your viewers to keep watching your videos is to trick them into reading like this. I wonder what went through the mind of the person who invented toast. Like they baked a bread, but that wasn't enough. They were like, bake it again. And now I eat it for breakfast. Did you read that? Of course you did. You couldn't resist, could you? Well, today I'm going to show you the secrets behind this hidden technique. It's called auto-generated subtitles, and it's a feature in Premiere that lets you add captions to your videos auto-magically. Alright, so we're just going to start off with a brand spanking new project. What I have in here already is a video clip and an audio track. So we're going to go ahead and just create a new timeline or sequence from this clip. And now we're going to go ahead and drop in the music track. I'm going to go ahead and make these a little bigger and bring down the music by a bit here. And so you can see it's just me talking and my background music. So that's fairly straightforward. Let's go ahead and try to add some subtitles onto here. So I have this dialogue track here. We're gonna go up to the top left and select this text tab. If you don't see it, you can always go to window and check off text and it should show up. From here, now that we have our dialogue selected, we can hit create captions from transcribe. So what this will do is gonna ask you what kind of settings that you want for this. So we're going to go ahead and just try to manipulate these a little better. So here I'm going to choose audio 1 because audio 1 is where my talking is. And then on preferences, I like to do a little smaller. So I'm going to bring this down to maybe about 25 characters, and minimum duration is 2 seconds. This is personal preference. You can always just tinker with this to see how you like it. I also like single lines instead of double lines. And we're just going to go hit transcribe and create captions. So what this is going to do is Premiere is going to use their big brain computer power to essentially extract out what you're saying and create subtitles automatically for you. And as you can see here, you can click around and you can kind of jump straight to where that caption is. So like in one hand, I can click on that, and then if I play it, sandal in one hand, and it's zipping around on the floor, you know. So like all the subtitles are there at the bottom, fairly straightforward, nothing too complicated. What's really nice is that, you know, if something is spelled incorrectly or the transcription was wrong, I think for example at the end here I say something like Febreze, so this is for Breeze, but I'm actually talking about the product Febreze. I can actually just double click this and change it to Febreze, and so now when I actually play through this clip, it should say Febreze instead of for Breeze. Like just get Febreze, but like if you want to kill a cockroach, don't physically fight. So there we go, the captions are there. It's all populated. You probably took you like 5-10 seconds. Not actually that bad, but you know, this is just plain text at the bottom of the screen. How do we make it spicier? You know, add a little bit pizzazz, some flavor, some sparkle, some Shazam, as some people would call it. Well, that's actually really straightforward. Unfortunately, you can't apply effects to like a subtitle track just like this. So before we move on to like adding effects and whatnot, we can go ahead and select these all these subtitle tracks, and you can actually change the font size here. And it should affect all of them. So let's say we want this to be a little bigger. We can change that. We can also kind of change the position a little bit. And we can also add like a stroke. So changing this to black will give us a black outline and the text will be white. And once you get it looking the way you like, just go ahead and select one of your captions instead of all of them. And you can go up here under track styles and you can actually create a new style. And so I will do this. I'll name it tutorial. And that way, every time you create captions, you can always just change this to tutorial and it'll keep all of your settings. So this is pretty much like 80% of the way there. You've got the text, it took you no time at all. And all you want to do is add some flair, some pizzazz, maybe something a little spicy to get it going, right? To keep the viewers engaged. So in order to do that, it's really simple. You can go ahead and select all these captions again. And then you want to go to graphics and titles and select upgrade captions to graphic. And this will turn it into a normal text object in which you can apply effects to. So I'm going to go ahead and double click this track to make it a little bigger. And I'm going to zoom in here. So in order to add some cool effects, like a nice pop in, we're going to go to this effects tab here, and we're going to go to video effects, distort, and there should be an option called transform. This is the effect. So we're going to click and drag the transform effect onto this initial subtitle. And here you can go to the effects controls on the top left, and you can see there's a transform option. What we're going to do is we're actually going to move the playhead to the very beginning here. So in order to add our first keyframe, we're going to go ahead and click this clock next to the scale button. So this will add our initial keyframe. And we're going to go ahead and just change this font or this scale size to 60. And we're going to go ahead and click on this bar again. And we're going to move over with the right arrow 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to add another keyframe here. This is going to be 110. And then we're going to go over 3. 1, 2, 3. And this should be 100. And so as you can see, the text is going to fly in and kind of bounce, but we don't want it flying in from the top. We kind of want it to pop in exactly where it is. In order to get the effect to pop in exactly where we want it, we want to move this anchor point number so that it actually moves this text right in the center. As you can see, this little crosshair here. So we're going to click and hold on this 540 number next to anchor point. And we're just going to move it to the right until the text ends up exactly in the center of the screen. So that's the first step, right? So now when we play it, it pops in the center, but we don't want it in the center. So this is where we start to begin to play with the position. We can take this position attribute here, click on 540 just like before, and we want to move this left or right, click and drag until it's down in the position that you want it. So this is where the text is going to be. So as you can see, if we play it, the text just pops in super easy, just like that. And so what we can do here is we can actually use this to create a preset. I did notice that I actually didn't like how slow it popped in. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take these keyframes here, and I'm actually just going to move them over by 1. And hopefully that makes it a little snappier. There we go. So now we have this transform effect exactly to our liking. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to save this preset. We're going to name it tutorial preset. And now in your effects panel, in the presets folder, you should see this. And so now in order to create subtitles, it should be really easy. All you gotta do is select all of these text objects, except for the first one, because that's where the effect is already applied. We're just gonna click and drag. And now when you play the video, it should all pop in and look really snazzy.
When you actually get to a physical altercation with a cockroach, right? You've got your sandal in one hand and it's zipping around on the floor.
So it's pretty neat, fairly straightforward to add auto subtitles through Premiere. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate a like. As always, hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time.